In this video, I will explain to you how to use quantum numbers to describe the location of an electron. Here we have the periodic table. It's color-coded into the different orbital blocks. In the green on the left, we have the s orbital, which means that the electron cloud is in the shape of a sphere. On the right, in the purple, we have the p block, which means that the electron cloud is in the shape of a dumbbell. In the middle, we have the d block, which means the electron cloud is in the shape of a clover. And on the bottom, we have the f block, whose shape is a little bit too complicated for me to describe here. When we write quantum numbers, we have a set of 4 different numbers. The first one is called n. N means the energy level, which is also the same as the period. Over on the left, you can see the periods listed. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And as we move down the chart, 1 through 7, the energy increases. So for example, the 7th level has a higher energy level than the 6th level. And n simply corresponds directly to the energy level. So if it says n equals 1, then you're looking at the first row. If it says n equals 4, then you're looking at the 4th row. It's pretty simple. The next letter that we're going to look at, the second quantum number, is called L. I'm going to abbreviate it with a cursive L because a regular L looks kind of like a 1. And by the way, that's a comma between the N and the L. It's not a very good comma, but that's what it's supposed to be. And L tells you which block you're in, the S block, the P block, the D block, or the F block. But instead of using letters for L, we like to use numbers instead. So we have a simple translation here. The S block is going to be 0. The P block is going to be 1. Actually, it's kind of hard to see that, isn't it? Let me see if I can get a thicker marker for when I write these letters here. Let's see if we can get a nice thick marker going on. Just give me 1 second. Okay, let's try this. S is 0. There we go. P is 1. D is 2. And F is 3. So the second number is either going to be 0, 1, 2, or 3. If it's in the S block, you make it a 0. If it's in the P block, you make it a 1. If it's in a D block, you make it a 2, F, 3. Okay, we're now ready for our third quantum number. I'll put another comma there. The third quantum number is called M sub L. So there's a little cursive L as a subscript there. And that tells you, if you already know the row and the block, which you do know after your first 2 numbers, you've narrowed it down to a section. For example, if you know it's in row 4 in the D block, which is number 2, then you've narrowed it down to this section right here. And what the M sub L does is for each section, it narrows it down to just 2. For example, it could narrow it down to just these 2, or just these 2, or just these 2, or just these 2, or just these. So for each block, we have a little bit of a different rule. In the S block, there's only 2 possibilities because there's only 2 columns. So that number is always going to be 0. For the P block, we have 3 different couples it could be. So the easiest thing that we thought of as chemists was, well, okay, let's make this first one called -1. Let's make this middle one called 0. Let's make the one on the right called 1. For the D block, we have 6 couples, as I wrote earlier. So the first couple we'll call -2. The second couple we'll call -1. The middle couple we'll call 0. The couple after that we'll call +1. And the couple after that we'll call +2. For the F block, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 couples. So we call it -3, or -2, or -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So once you've already narrowed it down with your first 2 quantum numbers, N and L, once you've already narrowed it down to the row and the block, that third number, the m sub l, simply tells you which couple you're dealing with. So now we've narrowed it down to two elements. Okay, so now we're ready for our fourth quantum number. This is called m sub s. The s stands for spin, and that's going to tell you exactly which one it is. And it's pretty straightforward. If it's the first element in the couple, for example, this one, boron, then it's going to be positive 1/2. It means it has a positive spin. If it's the second element in a couple, it's going to have negative 1/2, which means a negative spin. This is the same exact thing as on the off-bow diagrams. As you might have seen in my other video, we put one arrow going up and one arrow going down. That's the same thing. The up arrow is for the positive spin, the down arrow is for the negative spin. Let me get my eraser out and make some more room up here, and let's do some examples. I'll try to leave as much of this up as possible. Okay. So let's check out, let's do magnesium. I'm going to circle it. It's number 12. Oops, I just erased it instead of circling it. Here we go. It's number 12. I'm circling it, magnesium. I need to have 4 numbers to describe its location. The first number is the row. That's 3. The second number is the block. That's going to be 0 because it's in the 0 block or the S block. The third number tells me which couple it is. If it's in the S block, it's always 0 because there's only one couple. And the final number tells me which one it is. Is it the first one in the couple or the second one in the couple? It's the second one, so it's going to be positive 1/2. And that's it. We're finished. Let's do another example. Let's do one in the P block. How about Ge, germanium? It's number 32. I'm circling it. The first number tells you the row. It is in row 4. The second number tells you the block. It's in the P block, which is block number 1. The third number tells you which couple it is. It can either be the negative 1 couple, the 0 couple, or the 1 couple. It's in the negative 1 couple. The fourth and final number tells you which one of the couple it is. Is it the first one or the second one? It is the second one, so we're going to put a negative 1/2. And we're finished. So you can think of this like a street address. First you narrow it down to the city, or maybe you narrow it down to the state first, then you narrow it down to the city, then you narrow it down to the street, and then you narrow it down to the exact house. Let's do one more. How about chlorine? Number 17. The first number you write tells you the row. It's in the third row, so I write a 3. The second number tells you the block. It's in the P block, which is block number 1. The third number tells you which couple it is. It can either be the negative 1 couple, the 0 couple, or the positive 1 couple. In this case, it's the positive 1 couple. So I put a 1. And then finally, you have to figure out which one of the couple it is. Is it the first one or the second one? It's the first one. So I put a positive 1/2. And I'm finished. I hope that this helps.